You are not going to find a husband or a wife that is already made for you on the market. What do you say?
Yeah, exactly so. There's no such thing as an already made husband or an already made wife. There are many people out there who see other people's husbands or wives and they admire them so much and they are like, wow, how I wish my husband is like this. Oh, how I wish my wife is like this. But the truth is that there is no such thing as an already made husband or an already made wife. Those that you're admiring were made, they were invested into. So the import of today's episode is to bring us to, or to wake us up to realize that your spouse has to be made by you, or your would-be spouse would have to be made by you.
It's your responsibility.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it's your responsibility to make him or her the way you desire them to be,
Yeah.
right? And of course, you can't desire the person to be something that God doesn't want the person to be. So whichever ways, it has to be in line with the scriptures, and in many times it has to be like the best version of the person that God made him or her to become. And one thing to note is that nobody can change another person, right? And so it's not like you are trying to change him or you're trying to change her to become something. No, but you are being intentional about investing into the person's spirit, soul, body, mindset, everything, so that the person can conform to a certain image that God has of the person, which He has placed in your heart concerning that person. And one of the ways that you can get this done is by prayer. There is something that prayer does in the hearts of men, in the spirits of people, in their minds, in their souls. It has a multi-dimensional effect that it can have in a person to bring about changes that are desirable, right? And so praying for the person is one very important way to cause a person to conform into becoming who God has truly made the person to be. Not just change, right? But to conform to become that highest version of himself or herself that God has made him to be.
Yeah, and I mean, you need to also take note that to make someone takes time. That's how even Jesus, when Jesus came on the scene, and Bible said that he went about looking for his disciples. He said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." So Jesus came. He knew that he wanted some group of people to follow him, and they had to be in a certain state to, to function effectively. So when he went calling them, he said, "Follow me and I'll make you." And after 3.5 years of walking with Jesus, being with him, they were made. These were ordinary, hitherto they were ordinary people, unlearned, unschooled, but they suddenly became the best version that God wanted them to be. So the point here also to note is that making a person takes time. So, for example, my wife mentioned about prayer. Don't think that you pray today and you see the change tomorrow, or you pray after 1 week or 1 month. Yeah, there are some other things that may change after a day or two, after a week or after a month, but there are others that can take time. Jesus had to spend 3.5 years to make these people completely different. So the other thing to also note is that you should also spend time to invest the word in your spouse. The Bible says in Ephesians 5, Jesus, or the Bible makes us understand that even God today is still making the church. How is he making that? He's cleansing the church, by the washing of water by the word, to present the church to himself as that spotless bride, thoroughly made, divine, entirely, so that there's no humanistic dealings that can be found again in the church. He's doing that by the word. And in Romans 12, verse 2, it says, "We are transformed by the renewing of our mind, as we expose ourselves continually to the word." So as a spouse, whatever picture you have in your heart of your husband, or whatever picture you desire in your heart of your wife, take time to be that yourself, understand that yourself from the word. And as you share fellowship with your spouse in the word, not of course in a way that is offensive. So it's like I want you to be A, so I'm sharing B with you. So pay attention, not necessarily like that, but just fellowship. And as you share the thoughts today, another thought tomorrow, another thought the next day, you wouldn't know how this all adds up. But the word has a way of chipping off that which is undesirable and adding and transforming and making the person become that excellent version that you desire.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing as you're speaking is that came to mind is that you see, Jesus saw something in the disciples, right? He saw that they were fishers of men, and so Jesus always kept that picture before him concerning the disciples, right? So in the same way, you cannot desire that your spouse will, let's say, always wear green dresses, right? For example, that's a change you desire. And yet your spouse is maybe wearing yellow dresses all the time. And even though you desire for the person to wear green dresses, you keep seeing the person in yellow dress, you keep condemning the person that she is wearing yellow dress. If you continue seeing the person, your own self, you continue seeing the person as someone who is always wearing yellow dress, or you continue saying it, then the likelihood that even though you are praying, even though you are sharing the word, the likelihood that you see that change might be slim. Why? Because your mind says your beliefs are not really following your actions. You understand? So you have to believe that indeed this thing that I'm seeing or this thing that I'm desiring for this person to be, it is going to happen or it has happened, right? And you continue to say it concerning the person. You can even tell the person that my husband, we are always wearing green dress. Even if he's wearing yellow dress, you can always say that. And somehow it would have, as much as it's having an effect on you with regards to how you are seeing the person, regardless of the present circumstance, it would also create a certain mental shift in the other person's thought processes to also begin seeing himself or herself as that desirable person, right? So that's about it.
Yeah, I know. And then finally, also take note that the other thing that can be an anchor to enable you keep at this work is never give up. So no matter how long it takes, that your husband can become the best and perfect version, that your wife can become the best and perfect version.
As you're saying, this example just came to mind. This minister Smith Wigglesworth, right? Yeah. So I think he was a drunkard, and his wife was the one who was born again. And for how long, I can't readily tell, but the wife had to really prevail over him for a very long time until somehow the fire caught him.
You know,
And we don't even know his
no,
wife's name unless maybe you are a historian, but he's the one that we know. And we know because it was documented. There are many others who probably have not been documented happening even now, that there has been lots of changes that has occurred in their spouses just because they didn't give up. Yeah, so be intentional, don't give up. And then your spouse too, I think one of the things that helps is he or she being um, teachable, right? And willing to also conform to become who God has really designed him or her to become.
yeah. So yeah, the point is quite made very clear, isn't it? So there's no such thing as an already made husband or wife, but you can intentionally invest in your spouse or your would-be husband or wife so that they can become the best version that you intend them to be. All right, and we've got good news for you. Yeah, God willing, next month, if you've watched our Facebook post lately, we've been inviting couples, married couples, of course, to a special couples retreat that's happening next month with our dear ministers of God, Dr. David and Mrs. Cindy Bindam. You don't want to miss out on this, all right? So we have some special content next month that we are going to share with you. Some of the things we have learned from the previous couples retreat sessions. Amazing, amazing teachings. And we have some amazing couples that will be with us on set to have that conversation and discussion with. So if you would love to join us, you can just get in touch with us and then we'll share with you the details that are involved.
Yeah, so thank you once again for joining us. We'd like for you to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and share also with others. And so till we meet again on the next episode, just know that marriage is a
Marriage is a
very
beautiful
beautiful
thing
thing
and
and you
you
can
can
enjoy
enjoy
yours.
us. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Family Hub, God's Dream Family.